The modest inn stood at the forest's boundary, where late afternoon light filtered through expansive glass windows, illuminating the main entrance hall. Silence pervaded the space so completely that only the hum of climate control and the soft sound of writing instruments could be detected. A young desk clerk called Lena worked diligently at the front counter, recording information in the guest registry, completely oblivious to the approaching presence. Dressed in a crisp pale blue staff uniform, with her lengthy hair secured in a low arrangement, Lena's small frame remained bent over the reservation ledger, while overhead surveillance equipment monitored her activities. Beyond the windows, brilliant sunshine illuminated the landscape as tree branches moved gently in the warm seasonal breeze. The entrance door remained partially ajar to allow fresh air circulation, inadvertently creating access for an unexpected visitor. From the exterior steps leading to the foyer, a massive silhouette moved soundlessly inward. The creature was a fully mature leopard, its coat displaying the characteristic golden hue marked with distinctive dark rosettes. Soil and debris covered its body, while razor-sharp claws scraped against the polished flooring, producing faint clicking sounds resembling timepiece mechanisms. Security monitoring systems captured each movement, while automated detection protocols triggered immediate warning signals. The big cat advanced methodically, its gaze appearing unfocused as though recently awakened from extended unconsciousness. Its abdomen appeared sunken, rear limbs moved weakly, and moisture around its nostrils suggested prolonged dehydration. Rather than producing threatening vocalizations, the animal surveyed its surroundings with the demeanor of a disoriented traveler. Gradually, the space separating the predator from Lena decreased to merely a few paces as its shadow stretched across the floor directly behind the unaware employee. This critical moment unfolded with complete documentation by the recording devices, preserving every frame of the encounter. When Lena turned to retrieve cleaning materials for table maintenance, her vision encountered the leopard's motionless form. Her pupils dilated instantly, while her entire physique became rigid like sculptured stone beneath the afternoon illumination. She avoided screaming or making sudden movements, instead retreating with measured steps while maintaining controlled respiration. The leopard remained stationary, merely angling its head to observe her with eyes that appeared vacant and tormented rather than aggressive. The hall's atmosphere seemed to intensify as each moment stretched endlessly. Lena gripped the counter edge for stability, while her cardiovascular system raced to an almost unbearable rhythm. The leopard suddenly released a gentle moan, lowering its head as though on the verge of collapse. Its left foreleg exhibited active bleeding, where a corroded metal snare remained clamped above the joint. Despite her terror, Lena maintained composure, her attention fixed on the severe injury as crimson drops traced a path from the entrance to the animal's current position, forming an expanding dark stain. The leopard wavered momentarily before suddenly crashing to the floor, its body struggling for oxygen. The mingled aromas of blood, sun-scorched fur and woodland earth filled the space. Lena retreated further, while extracting her mobile device, contacting the nearest wildlife rehabilitation facility. Her voice trembled, yet remained resolute as she described the creature's condition and provided the establishment's coordinates. The leopard lay motionless but conscious, ears occasionally twitching with eyes partially open. Carefully, Lena obtained fresh fabric and positioned it near the animal before maintaining a safe observation distance. When a male colleague entered the lobby and began shouting, Lena quickly gestured for silence, requesting all visitors to evacuate while she awaited the rescue team's arrival. Within 10 minutes, an emergency response vehicle arrived abruptly outside the hotel entrance. 3 specialists wearing protective gear emerged, carrying medical supplies, tranquilizer equipment, and transportation apparatus. One approached the leopard from behind, while 2 others positioned themselves strategically in front. After assessing breathing patterns and examining the wound, they determined an appropriate sedative dosage. The injection was administered to the animal's rear leg, causing brief startlement without resistance. Less than 60 seconds later, the leopard's muscles relaxed as breathing normalized into peaceful unconsciousness. Specialized tools removed the metal trap from the injured limb, causing renewed bleeding from a deep laceration that exposed underlying tissue. Clear infection signs were visible with inflamed skin surrounding the wound. Temporary bandaging controlled the hemorrhaging before the animal was carefully transferred onto a mobile gurney. Lena approached the rescue leader, grasping his arm while inquiring about survival prospects. The captain smiled, explaining that discovery several hours later might have prevented successful treatment. The leopard was secured in the vehicle with protective padding and restraints ensuring safe transport. Surveillance equipment continued recording, silently documenting the entire compassionate rescue operation. The vehicle departed the hotel premises, carrying a life suspended between existence and death, while Lena watched until it vanished around the corner, her fists clenched and eyes moistening with emotion. The leopard received the name Ruto, signifying hope-bearer from the wilderness in the regional dialect. At the rehabilitation center, veterinary surgeons immediately performed emergency procedures to cleanse and close the wound. Ruto underwent deep anesthesia, intravenous fluid therapy, and antibiotic treatment to combat severe infection. Examination revealed numerous old injuries throughout its body, indicating extended periods of wandering. Matted fur was removed along with fungal growth, while the back showed multiple scratches and parasite infestation. During the initial day, Ruto consumed nothing, remaining curled in a weakened state on foam bedding. The overnight medical staff sat nearby, reading quietly and playing gentle music to provide comfort. By the third day, Ruto began consuming meat broth and showed slight head movement. Staff members excitedly informed Lena of this progress, prompting her immediate visit where she sat beside the enclosure for an hour. Upon seeing her, Ruto opened his eyes and stared intently, seemingly recognizing the first person who had shown no fear. From that point forward, Ruto's recovery accelerated significantly. The animal began eating solid meat and exercising by stretching and pacing within the enclosure. The wound healed properly, stitches dissolved, and new fur growth resumed with the original golden luster. Ruto was relocated to a semi-natural rehabilitation environment featuring vegetation, rock formations, water sources, and authentic forest sounds. Here the leopard practiced hunting artificial prey to restore natural reflexes before wilderness reintroduction. Medical professionals evaluated the animal's health as meeting release standards and began preparing documentation for return to the wild. Lena attended this significant occasion, bringing the white fabric that had been placed near the leopard during their first encounter. On a clear morning, a specialized transport vehicle carried Ruto to a remote forest preserve, located more than 50 kilometers from the facility. The enclosure door opened onto tall grassland, devoid of human presence, where only bird songs and wind sounds existed. Ruto emerged, raising its head to sample the air while ears stood alert and eyes gleamed brightly. Rather than rushing forward, the leopard paused momentarily, seeming to absorb every familiar forest sensation. Lena maintained distance, waving gently with a soft smile while her eyes filled with emotion. Ruto turned back once more, its gaze expressing calm gratitude. A deep roar emerged from its throat before the entire body launched into the forest like electricity. Staff members applauded quietly, everyone smiling despite experiencing quiet separation feelings. Lena's white fabric fluttered in the breeze, caught on a branch as a memorial. Ruto achieved freedom in its rightful habitat, unlikely ever to return. The story of Ruto and the hotel employee became widely shared on social media as an authentic miracle. Lena received recognition for her courageous and composed actions, becoming a symbol of compassion within the hospitality industry. Ruto, the surviving leopard, became a legend preserved by hotel security cameras as documented wildlife news.